Igor Piskunov reporting there. Let's now talk to Michael Mross. He's an economic analyst and author of the book, The Currency Crash. Well, we've heard the EU monetary chief saying the eurozone has just about a week left to find a solution. And now Angela Merkel is saying that it will take years. Does the region have years to tackle this crisis?
No, we in fact don't have years, we have only days in order to solve this crisis. And with the words of Angela Merkel today, we can say that the crisis is not solved. Every week we have a new emergency meeting, every week we have a new summit, every week we have new hopes, and every week nothing happens. So this is the prognosis, the forecast also for the EU summit next week. And when Angela Merkel says no to Eurobonds, this means nothing else than no to the euro. Because you must not be an economist to know that a common currency cannot work without a common bond market. So because of the fact that Germany is not permitted to pull out of the euro, Angela Merkel says we don't want Eurobonds. And without Eurobonds, the euro won't work.
Why doesn't she want those Eurobonds? She stands against the whole eurozone on this idea. They say that collective borrowing is possibly the answer. Surely that is a good thing, isn't it, to help nations ease their debt burden by everybody sharing the problem?
But with these Eurobonds, you will only trigger a process to pull out money from Germany and put it into the other countries. The other countries, of course, have to do their housework. They have to do their duties in order to keep their economies in good shape. But this is now more or less too late. That means, on the other hand, that they, of course, are depending on Eurobonds. The European bond market, when it comes to Italian, Spanish or Greece bond, is already cut from the international money supply. So more or less there is something to do. But if Angela Merkel says no, we don't want Eurobonds, then there is obviously no solution. And I interpret it in this way, that she says, okay, then we need some more years. This time, this is not left. So this will finally lead to the breakup of the euro.
Isn't her stance more about political survival? Because clearly the Germans aren't happy already with they, as taxpayers, bailing out weak eurozone members. And for her to take this stance against the Eurobonds, is that not more of German self-interest than the rest of the eurozone?
I think most of the Germans, of course, are not aware what it means if the euro is collapsing. Of course, we will also have big problems afterwards. But on the other hand, I mean, when you go back to the founders of the euro, they wanted that the single countries will go together, will melt together, and will be a fiscal union or whatever, economic union. But we had time, more or less 10 years' time, nothing happened. And now you want to do it all in a hurry. This, of course, is not possible. The crisis that we see now was predicted, it was programmed, it was forecast many times by experts.
Michael,
now we have the problem.
Why is this idea of fiscal union not possible? Is it because governments and people will simply object to being overridden and governed purely by Brussels and losing their own autonomy and sovereignty? Are we going to see rebellion here from those countries?
I think the time is just not ripe for it. This is the best expression. In Europe, we are 27 different countries with different cultures and different ways of living. And of course, they don't want to be ruled by Brussels. Nobody wants this. Also, the Germans don't want it. And this is the real problem that we have with this common currency. It is not backed by the several governments. If you want to have a common currency, you have to have one single rulership in Europe. Brussels, for example. But nobody wants it. So we are in a contradiction. We are in a cul-de-sac. So I don't know how you will solve this problem. It is a fact that if you have a common currency, you have to have a centralized government. But this nobody wants. The Greeks don't want it, the Germans don't want it, and maybe also the French don't want this.
Well, Michael, in the light of your book, Currency Crash, clearly very prophetic, you're saying this could happen within days. It'll be very interesting to talk to you in a few days from now. Pretty grim views from you at this stage. Thank you very much indeed. Michael Mross there, joining us live in Berlin.
Thank you.